The Jackrabbits have bounced back from a slow start, while the Coyotes have clawed their way to the top of the conference. SDSU is fighting to get into the playoff tournament, while USD is fighting to host it. It's the 194th meeting between the Rabbits and the Yotes, and it's live tonight on KELO TV. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the DakotaDome on the University of South Dakota campus, of course, in Vermillion. And we are set tonight to give you live action from the DakotaDome between the Jackrabbits from South Dakota State and the Coyotes from the University of South Dakota. And a lot of playoff implications on the line tonight in this game. South Dakota State has made a big comeback here in the last couple of weeks, won 5 conference games in a row to get themselves in position to get into the postseason. University of South Dakota has wrapped up the NCC championship again this year, their 4th title under Coach Dave Boots. So they are kind of fighting for home court advantage. If they can win a couple of games here this weekend, it's almost a lock that they will be the host for the North Central Region Tournament, which will be here next week. Tom Neiman and the incomparable KELO Land crew bringing it to you tonight, along with head coach Jim Hayford from the University of Sioux Falls. And Hayf, welcome, thanks.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me on here. I'm looking forward to a great basketball game tonight.
All right, the women's game went a little long tonight, so we've got a few minutes before tip-off here. Great women's game, by the way. USD led the South Dakota State women almost up until the last minute of the ball game. South Dakota State pulled it out. 85-79 was the final. SDSU's women come back and do win it 85-79 after USD led most of the second half here tonight in the women's game. There are some of the Coyote crazies down there at one end of the arena, and of course it's kind of like we're outside here at the DakotaDome, but great place for basketball. Once you get used to it a little bit, I remember playing down here and it was not a pleasant place to play, but we're going to get into it tonight. Jim Hayford and Tom Neiman bringing it to you tonight. And you guys played USD a little earlier this season, back in December, and a great team. They can really shoot the basketball.
Yeah, USD is a fine basketball team, deserving of the #1 ranking in the region right now. Just won their 2nd North Central championship, and that's because they've got a team of shooters. Everybody who comes on the court for the Coyotes can put the ball in the hoop from distance, and they're a great shooting team, and here they are on their home court, ready to show off their skills to their fans.
USD will host Augustana tomorrow night as they close out the NCC season. USD 13-3 right now, and they are the North Central Conference champions. South Dakota State is 3rd right now. They come in with a 10-6 conference mark, but again, they are trying to win a couple of games here to get into the Division II playoffs, which will get started next week. The way they stand in the region rankings right now, the top 6 get into the playoffs. South Dakota is #1 right now. Metropolitan State out of Denver is #2. North Dakota is 3. Wayne State is #4, and then South Dakota State #5. So the Jacks are trying to stay up in that top 6 and hopefully get themselves a berth in the Division II playoffs. Sunday is the Division II selection show, where they will come out with all the regional rankings and see who gets into the tournament, and everybody trying to get down to Louisville for the Division II National Tournament this year. We do have one score in from one of those tournaments, the Rocky Mountain Conference Tournament. Metropolitan State beat Nebraska Kearney tonight 103-78, so Metro State is at least into the finals of the Rocky Mountain Conference Tournament. So that is actually good news, because the winner of that conference tournament is an automatic qualifier, as is the winner of the Northern Sun Conference Tournament. So that's what South Dakota State is hoping for, that Wayne State and Metro win those conference tournaments. That's good news for SDSU.
That's right. Now South Dakota State going into this night, though they're the 5th ranked team, Tom, they're playing as good as anybody in the region. They've won 5 straight. They banged the boards with the best of them, and you got to look out for the Jackrabbits tonight on the boards. That's where their strength is.
They are the best rebounding team in the conference. USD, the best shooting team in the conference. Both these teams at the top of the conference in scoring, and South Dakota State wants to keep that score down a little bit. USD wants to run it up. And down on the floor, it is KELO night here at the DakotaDome. Kelly Higgins in the red jacket, presenting the game ball to Jean from Promotions at KELO TV. Actually, she's down in the internet office now, the newly created internet office at KELO Land TV. And our thanks to everybody here.
She's going to sing now, isn't she?
She will be doing the national anthem.
They do it all over there at KELO Land, huh?
We are a full-service organization. Let's step aside now for our national anthem. right, thanks. Gene Richardson from KELO TV with our national anthem. And we'll be back to the Dome here. Some big changes in store for the Dakota Dome in the next year. The plans are being finalized to put a new roof on the place, and there's some basketball-friendly moves in the works, and we'll talk about those when we come back. You're watching NCC College Basketball on KELOLAND TV.
North Central Conference Basketball on KELOLAND TV is sponsored by the University of South Dakota, setting the standard. The Sioux Falls Cobras. Season tickets on sale now at the Sioux Falls Arena. New Holland and your Great Plains New Holland dealers. Asgrow and your South Dakota Asgrow brand seed dealers. And Clearview Windshield. Call the friendly folks at Clearview Windshield. A better view, and we come to you.
All right, the Dome is home tonight to the Jackrabbits and the Coyotes from USD. Some playoff implications in tonight's game, and we'll get into that as we get into the ball game. There's Casey Essling, one of the Jackrabbit starters, and let's go to Dave Lorenz for tonight's starting lineups.
Fans, we welcome you again to the University of South Dakota. This evening, your host Coyotes meet the Jackrabbits from South Dakota State in North Central action. South Dakota State comes in with a record of 19-8 overall and 10-6 in the North Central. And your conference champion South Dakota Coyotes are 22-3 overall and 13-3 in the NCC. Here are your starting lineups. First for the visitors from state. A 6'1" freshman, number 10, Austin Hansen. A 6'4" senior, number 20, Casey Essling. A 6'2" senior, number 44, Terry Kress. A 6'8" sophomore, number 50, Andy Cohn. And a 6'7" freshman, number 54, Josh Cerveny. Head coach for South Dakota State, Scott Nagy. And now it's time to meet the University of South Dakota Coyotes. A 6'1" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, number 4, Nate Tibbetts. A 6'2" senior from Norfolk, Nebraska, number 22, Ben Reese. A 6'4" senior from Columbus, Nebraska, number 50, Nate Glasser. 6'7" junior from Del Rapids, South Dakota, number 52, Jeremy Kudera. And a 6'6" junior from Bloomington, Illinois, number 54, Jason Barrow. The Coyotes are coached by Dave Boots.
All right, Tom Neiman joined by University of Sioux Falls head coach Jim Hayford. Hey, thoughts as we get going here?
Well, we're ready to tip it off. This place is ready to rock and roll. There's a lot of people excited. I think both fans are fired up. We were talking to the players in the locker room prior to. We said, hey, do you have to get up? Is it hard to get up for this one? And every guy with a gleam in his eye said, no, this is what we play for. We play to play the USD State game. So this is going to be a fun night for everybody here. We're glad you're watching, and it's going to be fun.
194th meeting all time between South Dakota State and USD, and USD's had the better of the Jackrabbits in recent years for the most part. USD beat SDSU 68-58 the first time they met this season up in Brookings. South Dakota State led most of that game, and the Coyotes pulled it out in the end. Jeremy Kudera will jump it up against Andy Cohn, and this is Terry Kress, senior point guard for South Dakota State, off to Austin Hansen, the redshirt freshman from Brandon Valley, Casey Essling, Josh Cerveny, and Andy Cohn will go to the free throw line right off the bat for South Dakota State.
Just right off the bat, able to penetrate the middle of that matchup zone that USD likes so much. And the more they can get the good ball movement, get ball reversal, and flash cutters through the middle of the zone, the better shots that South Dakota State's going to be able to get.
Andy Cohn, a redshirt sophomore out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, has started most of the season for South Dakota State. Coming in, averaging 10 points. South Dakota State not really with an outstanding scorer on the team. Austin Hansen, the freshman, leads them to 13 points a game, but they've got nobody in the top 15 in the conference in scoring. On the other hand, USD has 3 players in the top 16 in scoring, led by that man, number 50, Nate Blesson. This is Ben Reese.
And he's hitting it already. This is one of the best shooters in the nation at any level. You get his feet under him, and Ben Reese is going to put it down. He's got the USD school record for three-pointers made. He's a big-time shooter. That's his game.
You broke Mike Graves' all-time USD three-point shooting record this season. Jason Barrow with a rebound for South Dakota off the miss by Austin Hansen. Here's Nate Tibbetts looking for Blesson. Blesson, the leading scorer in the conference at 19 points a game. And here's Jeremy Kudera, junior out of Del Rapids, South Dakota, off to Jason Barrow.
Kudera is an inside-outside player here. He's going for 3 from deep. It's off. Over the back foul there on South Dakota State's Josh Cervini. Now USD on these inbounds plays, very well coached team. You'll see that they're able to do some good things off of all of these set plays. Right now, I'd look for Barrow to screen across for a shooter.
Barrow driving on Cervini. Cervini just picked up the foul. Good defense this time. Here's the rebound to Hansen. Again, Austin Hansen, player of the year in South Dakota 2 years ago when he led Brandon Valley to the AA state championship. Cervini inside, and it slapped away, and a foul coming up on Barrow.
Again, State's able to get the ball inside. I think that's what their game plan is. They want to attack the Coyotes, so they got a size advantage, maybe a little bit stronger in there. And so here they go to the line once again, hopefully able to convert.
Cervini, a freshman out of Indianola, Iowa, and he missed half of the season, the first part of the season with a concussion. Went down in practice, got conked on the head, and he sat for the first half of the season. And since he's come back, Bill Fisher's come back from a foot injury, and the Jacks have kind of gotten it going lately. Won 5 straight games coming into this one tonight.
Yeah, this is a whole different team than who played up in Brookings 6 weeks ago. This is a brand new team. They're playing with great confidence, so they're now on the scoreboard.
First point of the game for Cervini. 3-1 USD on the 3 by Reese. There's the general, Nate Tibbetts, running the show out of Sioux Falls, Roosevelt. Blesson for 3. Jacks with the rebound to Cohn. Here's Hansen.
Ooh, he pulls it up and fires up the break for 3. Austin Hansen from downtown beating USD at their own game.
13 points a game to lead South Dakota State this year. He had 34 against Augie in a game a couple weeks ago up in Brookings.
Not bad for a freshman, huh?
Blesson can't get it to
Follow
go.
dunk. And the Coyote crazies are going wild on that one, Tom.
Jason Barrow with the follow, his first points. Coyotes back up by a point. Steal by Barrow this time, and ahead to Tibbetts.
Tibbetts, the leading assist man in the conference.
Blesson with the hope and a 7-4 lead for USD.
State's got to settle back down, work the ball inside, try to keep this place from getting too electric.
Nate Tibbetts leading the NCC in assists and in steals, averaging 9 assists a game. Here's Hansen guarded by Reese. 3 on the way again. Good block out underneath by Blesson.
Tibbetts brings the court. He's always aware of where the shooters are. This time they just don't stop the penetration. Takes it right to the hole. He's got an all-around game. Nate Blesson, solid player.
9-4 Coyotes. Here's Terry Kress, transfer from Northern Iowa. First year with the Jackrabbits, and he's been a great addition this year. Cohn looking inside for Cervini, but Kudera comes over, and that's going to be 2 fouls already on the freshman center, Cervini, for South Dakota State.
That hurts State for him to pick up those 2 quick ones. They're going to have to go a little smaller now, and that'll hurt the rebounder. Cervini's the guy who just plays like a man possessed. He just plays so hard. And 2 fouls going to take a little of the aggression off of his game.
Jacks with a couple of substitutions. Cody Vollmer checks in along with Bill Fisher for South Dakota State. Here's Vollmer on Kudera.
again, State's got to be aware of where all 5 Coyote players are. There's Blesson taking it to the hole. Because all 5 players, they can shoot the ball from wherever they are in the half-court set. And then you get guys like Blesson, Cadero, Barrow, who can also post up just like that.
Press got bumped on the way in, foul on Tibbetts.
That's one player of all the players on the Coyote team that cannot get in foul troubles, Nate Blesson. They don't have a lot of depth at the point guard. He's required to play a lot of minutes. So look for State to try to attack him off the dribble, try to pick up a second foul.
Seth Arndt checks in for USD. Freshman out of Sioux Falls, O'Gorman. Vollmer inside, Cody Vollmer.
Checks in the game, checks in and gets a bucket right off the bat. Seth Arndt, checked in, of course, is from from O'Gorman High School, and interestingly enough, played in that state high school AA championship game against Austin 2 years ago.
Blesson again, a little strong this time. Hanson with another rebound for South Dakota State. Press to Fisher. Essling battling on the boards, but Cooter at 6'7" in there with a strong rebound for USD. Ian Barrow averaged 7 boards a game for the Coyotes, and a reach-in foul on Terry Kress this time.
Tough call there. State's looking to pressure the ball all through the half court.
Timeout on the floor. Coyotes out to an 11-6 lead on the Jackrabbits.
Gives them 5 more attempts.
Tom Neiman, Jim Hayford back at the DakotaDome in Vermillion. Coyotes with an 11-6 lead, and kind of the opposite on the board so far of what we thought. South Dakota State's the best rebounding team in the conference.
And
getting beat on the boards right now.
Yeah, Coyotes taking it right at them, and that results in 5 more field goal attempts as they out-rebound them 6-3.
Just over 4 minutes in to the first half. Here's Kudera to Tibbetts. Eric Hickenbottom, a sophomore, number 42, is checked in for USD. Here's Blesson. Fisher there to knock it away, and Chris Stabner out of Harrisburg has checked in for South Dakota State. Here's Chris. As does Ryan Johnson, number 22. Then go for Fisher inside, and out of bounds off the Rabbits.
Whoa, I didn't see that one that way, but no one's complaining, so here we're headed back. They're able, again, to get the ball inside against that zone. They just need to be able to convert.
Seth Arndt is second in the conference right now in block shots. He got the block that time on Fisher. Kudera for 3. Rabbits, or the Yotes rather, just 1 of 4 so far from three-point land. Here's Fisher. Vollmer again had it knocked away, but a foul coming up this time on Kudera.
State sliding those cutters through from the top of the zone and just looking to try to find the gaps and get high percentage shots. It's working as they now go to the line for the, what is this, their 5th and 6th attempt in just a short while of the game so far.
Coyote coach Dave Boots, 12th season here at USD, and he is 16-8 all time against South Dakota State. And the Coyotes don't lose very often here at the Dome. They're 11-1 so far at home.
Jackrabbits out to 1 of their first 5 free throws. That goes in 2 of 6, but they're going to have to convert better than 33% because I have a feeling this game's going to go down to the wire. The team that shoots free throws better is the team that's going to win.
Reese back on as Blesson sits down. And I can't remember having this many South Dakota kids on these two teams at the same time. You look out there, we've got Tibbetts from Sioux Falls, we got Kudera from Del Rapids, Koo for 3 right here, and got his feet under him that time, but still a little short. Seth Arndt from Sioux Falls running it down, and you look on the state side, you got Hanson from Brandon Valley, Ryan Johnson from Sioux Falls, Cody Vollmer from Presho, and Chris Stabner from Harrisburg. And I can't remember when we've had that many on these two teams at the same time.
So you get a lot of guys familiar with each other, played with each other growing up. It makes the rivalry even more intense.
Fisher working inside as the Rabbits go 4 out. Billy Fisher's coming off a foot injury.
Move, not able to convert. Calls timeout, falling out. That's one smart player there, Ben Reese. Official gives it to him as he should, and got a 30-second timeout on the floor. You know, right now USD is just not able to hit that long ball down yet. I think they're 1 for 5 from 3, and they're going to need someone else besides Blesson to establish themselves inside, get some high percentage looks, and as State has to collapse, then it'll open up more of that outside shot.
SDSU with just 2 field goals so far through the first 5.5 minutes, a 3 by Hansen and Vollmer's layup, but other than that, both teams struggling a bit offensively.
Coach Boots just checked in Jason Barrow, their best post player. Look for them to work the ball inside, get a high percentage shot here on this next possession.
Again, one score to pass along from the Rocky Mountain Conference Tournament. Metropolitan State out of Denver beat Nebraska Kearney tonight 103-78 in the semifinals of that Rocky Mountain Conference Tournament. So Metro State in the finals. Put an address and a phone number on there.
P.S. Mom send money, yeah. You know, what's important about that score, Metro State, the #2 team in the nation, is for South Dakota State, who's in that 5th place, 6 teams making that regional tournament, they can't have an upset of one of the teams ahead of them. And so they find themselves right now rooting for teams to win that they know they're going to have to play if they can get into that regional tournament.
Right, Jackrabbits need Metro State to win that Rocky Mountain Conference. They need Wayne State to win the Northern Sun Conference, because if another team ends up winning that tournament, they are an automatic qualifier, and Wayne or Metro would also get in, and that would bump the Jackrabbits down. So that's kind of where it stands. I mean, a lot of things can happen tonight and tomorrow night. But here's Hickenbottom. And what? Vollmer came over and took a swat at him. A foul is going to go on Ryan Johnson and give the hoop to Eric Hickenbottom.
Hickenbottom was part of the starting lineup for the Coyotes earlier in the year, comes off the bench now and comes in there and gets a high percentage shot, able to convert while being fouled. Now the Coyotes go to the bench with their backup point guard, Lamar Parker. He's a 1-year player out of UC Irvine in California. His minutes have been limited as Coach Boots has such tremendous confidence in Nate Blessing. A very quick and athletic guard. Look for him to put plenty of pressure on Terry Kress. It'll be a fun matchup to watch.
3-point play by Hickenbottom, and it's a 14-7 lead for USD. Here's Kress with Parker on him. Barrow to help out and kick ball. Resets the shot clock. 35-second shot clock here for the men in college.
They go with that double high screen, looking for a pick and roll off of either side. Not able to hit the roller off of that.
Got a shot of Scott Nagy there, and off the inbounds they go to Casey Essling. Good pass by Kress. First hoop of the game for Essling. Senior out of Center Point, Iowa. Here's Hickenbottom. I was going to say we had a shot of Scott Nagy there, South Dakota State head coach, and he's got a beeper in his pocket. His wife is home, and she is due with a baby sometime this weekend.
He's hoping that waits till Monday.
Arndt on the turnaround, won't go.
Big rebound by Kress, pulls it down, looking up court.
Here's Chris Stabner, thought about 3 inside, this time to Essling, to Andy Cohn, and it wouldn't quite go, but a foul on the Coyotes.
But again, State looking to make that extra pass and to attack the Coyotes inside, getting high percentage shots. Once again, going to the line, they just need to be able to convert here at the free throw line.
There you see the foul on Seth Arndt. Cohn, a redshirt sophomore. South Dakota State is very young. They start Hansen, the freshman, Cerveny, the freshman, and Cohn, a sophomore, along with the 2 seniors, Essling and Kress.
Some good young players on that Jackrabbit team. As I was talking with Coach Nagy before the game, just feels like once they got healthy and once these guys matured, not really in a place where he's surprised that they put some wins together. It was just a time of waiting for the team to come together and fight through the injuries and let some of these younger players mature. But you look at a backcourt, right, you know, with Stabner and Hansen, both freshmen, that future's bright for the Jackrabbits.
Here's Barrow. Reese, Mr. 3. Can't connect there, and a rebound comes out. The Blessing wouldn't go for Cooter either. Press the other way. 2
tough bunnies, but again, State's got to box out a little better. The Coyotes are beating them at their own game, which is off the boards. Hansen penetrates.
Essling with the putback for South Dakota State.
These teams are just going after each other off the boards. If you don't box out, forget it. They're just going after each other with attacking the boards hard.
Casey Essling's a 4.0 student, and some banging going on now, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Nate Blessing as Essling was all over him. I was going to say Essling, 4.0 student, and Scott Nagy calls him one of the toughest players he's ever had. And here's another look at that exchange.
He just he knew that he had gotten to Blessing's stuff a little bit. Blessing lost his cool and ends up being a turnover.
Second foul on Blessing. Hansen for 3. And the rebound for Koo to Parker. Now Blessing again, Hansen on him this time. Barrow draws the double team. Hansen takes it away. Austin Hansen will take it in for his first 2-pointer. Adds that to a 3. 5 points for Hansen, and all of a sudden the Jackrabbits on an 8-0 run here to take a 15-14 lead.
Coach Boots gone to the bench, wants to get Nate Blessing back in. He'll have all 5 starters on the court. Rather, I'm messing up my Nates. That's Nate Tibbetts coming in there, the starting point guard.
Kudera.
You know that's coming soon. You can't give him that many looks. He ain't going to miss that many in a row. He's just too good of a shooter, a solid player, an all-conference, North Central all-conference player. I think even as a sophomore, he's just played even better as a junior. There's a travel. It's a right call.
Timeout on the floor, so USD answers the rabbit run, and it's 17-15 Coyotes. The Coyote Crazies are packing them in at one end of the floor here for USD. Dave Boots assisted Shane Murphy there to his left.
Yeah, that
Coyotes up 17-15. Jim?
Yeah, that call on Blesson, that offensive foul and turnover, it ends up being his second foul. Coach Boots leaving him on the court, doesn't want to get his 3rd foul. He's the leading scorer in the North Central Conference. But that's a big call, much to State's advantage.
Blesson this time inside.
Did he tip his own one in? He's just all over the place. He's a guy that you just got to always guard. You relax, and he's gonna beat you.
6 points for Blesson, the leading scorer in the North Central Conference. 19 points a game. Senior out of Columbus, Nebraska. And one thing about him, he gets to the free throw line more than anybody else in the league. Here's Kress. Cone with a rebound for South Dakota State and the Rabbits.
That's what they do best. The best offensive rebounding team in the conference. They just keep going at it till they get the ball in the hole.
4 points for Cone. Tibbetts, great lead for Blesson.
And that's why he's the top assist man in the conference. They surround him with 4 great shooters, and he finds someone to get the ball. You got to stop the penetration. Kress just a little too casual in his defense right there.
8 points for Nate Blesson. Here's Fisher. Trying to get it to Cone and out of bounds. It'll stay at the state end. There's Nate Tibbetts. Junior out of Sioux Falls, Roosevelt. Dad Fred is the girls' coach there. We know about him.
Yeah, he's coached a few games. Coached a few games in the Dome here, actually.
Won a few games, that's right. Former women's coach here. Again, the women's final tonight, South Dakota State 85, USD 79. But the Coyote women led that game most of the second half. Jackrabbit women pulled it out.
Coyotes set their offense up. You just screen after screen after screen. Someone's going to pop free, and then they shoot it. Kadera going to the line 3 times. Now, it's just a tough matchup there for Andy Cone to have to go out there and guard that far from the basket. And Kadera's just too good a shooter. Running through too many screens, you're going to get that look.
There is Scott Nagy, 5th year at South Dakota State, and he's won 110 games there in 5 years. Back-to-back-to-back NCC championships. His first 3 years there in 96 through 98.
Very impressive record. You look at Scott and you wonder how he's only been he's been coaching 5 years. The guy looks young enough to be one of the players, maybe.
He was a great player himself at Delta State down in Mississippi.
Yeah, every time you talk to Scott, sometimes that southern drawl makes its way out there a little bit, doesn't it? He played in a Final Four as a senior. As a member of that Delta State team, had a great college career. His father, a college coach, longtime assistant to Lou Henson, a great basketball family.
Kudera gets just 1 out of 3, still a 5-point lead, and Kress cuts that back down.
Coast to coast, just too quick.
First hoop for Terry Kress, gets the Rabbits back within 3 at 22-19. Blesson left wide open, 15-footer.
Forget it. You just count on it. Too good a player.
10 points for Blesson.
Remember, playing with 2 fouls here. Can't get that 3rd foul. He's guarding the smaller player right now, Austin Hansen. Switching around in the matchup zone.
And a steal for Tibbetts. There's that matchup with Blesson. Essling on him. Good pass again. Tibbetts to Seth Arndt.
Great patience on offense, working to get a good shot. The mark of a good team is doing it together and looking for one another until the team gets the best shot, not just a shot by an individual.
There's Cone.
On the boards again.
Cody Vollmer had a putback, wouldn't go, and a foul coming up on South Dakota State.
Just hit him upside the head there on the board. That's a man's world down there. They're banging each other hard. Bill Fisher, the veteran player for Coach Nagy, checks in now, and he can bang with the best of them as well. Battled through a lot of injury this year.
Fisher broke his foot in the USD game at Brookings, first time they played this year. Was out, came back against Augustana down in Sioux Falls, and that's kind of when State started to get things rolling about 3 weeks ago. And again, they've won 5 straight games coming into this one. Kress got a hand on the Tibbetts pass that time. Good lead for Fisher, and a block by Seth Arndt.
And here comes the Coyotes. That was a block that it just came from nowhere. Nice block by Seth Arndt.
Arndt at 6'8" and springs in his legs, one of the best leapers in the conference. Good addition to the Coyote team down here.
Redshirted last year at Division I Wagner in New York. Coyotes get it inside to Blesson, not able to knock it down, but gets fouled. Excellent free throw shooter on the year. Blesson comes into the year shooting at 80%. Again, you said 150 free throws. He's gone to the line 150 times, which just shows how hard he works to get the ball in good position, and that means you're going to start fouling him.
Fouls on Vollmer, his first.
Kind of a game of runs here. The Coyotes came first, then the Rabbits came back, and now the Coyotes open up an 8-point lead as Blesson looks to extend it to 9.
Blesson, great kid too. You talk to him, he doesn't want to talk about himself, wants to talk about the team and how well we're doing and how well everybody else is supporting him. Won't give himself much credit, but he's got 12 points right now. The Coyotes are up 28-19 with 7:49 to go in the first half. Tom Neiman, Jim Hayford back at the DakotaDome in Vermillion, where USD has run out to a 9-point lead now, 28-19. Blesson with a dozen for the Coyotes. And Hansen with those 5 right now to lead South Dakota State.
Coyotes keep looking for Blesson. He's got 11 of their 24 field goal attempts. I think he's got 11 shots up here in only 12 minutes. Pretty impressive. The other thing that you look at is out of their 11 field goals, they've got him off of great passes, 7 assists. Coyotes in the matchup zone.
Ryan Johnson knocks down 3 from the corner.
That's with confidence.
Johnson out of Sioux Falls, Washington. He was a walk-on at South Dakota State and ended up, he had a foot injury at the start of the season. He was going to be in the starting lineup, but getting some minutes now. Wouldn't go for Arndt there, and here's Stabner with a rebound for State.
Stabner, of course, last year's high school player of the year in the state.
Johnson a little strong. Kress with a rebound.
And blocked by Hickenbottom. Get that weak stuff out of here, he says. A little bit of a yell with it.
Kress can go right back at him. Stabner for 3.
Count it. These guys, he might be a freshman. He ain't playing like a freshman anymore. It's late in the season, and he wants to get his team into the postseason.
Back-to-back 3 balls by the Rabbits, and they're back within 3. Nice
What
play
a
by
save.
Hickenbottom. Threw it off to Stabner and out of bounds.
Jackrabbits bring back Austin Hansen now, and Kress gets his first rest of the night. He's done a good job of pushing the ball up the court. We're getting a little tired there on defense. So now the Rabbits have that freshman backcourt of Austin Hansen and Chris Stabner that I think Rabbit fans are going to love to see over the next 4 years, this year and the next 3.
And Scott Nagy was talking that Stabner would probably be the 1 guard next year, the point guard, and Hansen would end up at the shooting guard spot when those two are in there.
Yeah, I can see that. Austin, who shoots the ball so well, it comes up with a big steal inside against Blesson, who's got him by about 5 inches, but Austin says, I'll bang with you down here.
Hansen had it slapped away, and the call right away is off the Coyotes.
I think I saw a guy on the other side of the court, Tom, with the "I hate state" written all over his face, just about jumped down the referee's face on that one.
It was either off of Cooter or Hansen now, and this time it is off the Jackrabbits, so some kind of Coyote justice work there.
But
Barrow back on.
Another run. We're back in it, 28-25, a 3-point game, and Blesson, look for the Coyotes, try to get it to Blesson again. He's the man they're going through.
Blesson with Johnson on him right now. Here's Barrow. Tibbetts to Kudera. Blesson for 3. In and out, and Stabner with a rebound.
Good job of defense there by Ryan Johnson.
Here's Stabner right in on Barrow, and Stabner with the bucket. He's got 5.
That's one of the things, you know, you look at Stabner, he's a point guard, but he's solid. He's strong, he's got good upper body strength, and he can go in there and just take it up. You know, that's where lifting weights comes in when you're able to finish plays like that. Got hit across the face pretty good and still converts.
Chris was a great football player at Harrisburg, led them to a state championship here in the Dome. But Scott Nagy says he just thinks more like a point guard than Austin Hansen. Hansen more of a scorer. And all of a sudden, the Rabbits right back in it, down by 1. Another 8-0 run.
Coyotes looking a little bit disheveled on offense, not as smooth as they were earlier.
Kudera for 3. That's one way to solve it, huh?
Yeah.
And the extra pass again by Tibbetts.
Yeah, and that's what Nate Tibbetts just does so well, is he finds the guy that has the open shot. And just good things happen when the ball gets in his hands. He's just so smart. He's the epitome of what a point guard should be. You high school players that are watching, if you want to be a point guard, you watch Nate Tibbetts. He makes good decisions. He doesn't hurt his team.
Stabner with the answer for South Dakota State.
How about these freshmen, huh? He's like, my first time playing in the Dome against USD, I think I'll just bomb them. I think I'll take it inside, and then I think I'll bomb them. That's
8 points for Stabner. Rabbits back within 1. Barrow inside, and a travel on Barrow.
USD brings back their sharpshooter Ben Reese in for Hickenbottom, and again, now you got to be aware, where's Kudera? He's going to shoot it. Where's Reese? He's going to shoot it. Where's Blesson? He's going to shoot it. Oh wait, Barrow can pop out too. Someone's thrown a rabbit out on the court there, and might see a few more of those. That was just a stuffed animal
stuffed one, yeah.
Oh. But State, again, air ball rebound. They're just so good on the boards. And Hansen maybe gets fouled on that shot, but State still comes away with 2 points.
Estling with the putback, 6 for Casey Estling, and the Rabbits up by 1.
USD again just move the ball and look for someone to step out, line the 3-point line, or get it inside to Barrow or Blesson.
Coyotes with the starting 5 back out there. Derek Shantz has checked in for South Dakota State, meanwhile, number 34. Barrow working against Fisher, and this time Fish reaches in and picks up the foul.
They'll call that on the ground, which will make it a 1-on-1 shot. Barrow at the line, a 72% free throw shooter. But again, a game of runs. You look at the score, State's up 1 now. Chris checks back in for Stabner. Nice run there by Chris Stabner as he gets his team the lead.
Stabner came in, hit a 3, a layup, a 3, 8 quick ones. Jason Barrow out of Bloomington, Illinois.
You know, we talk about the youth on the roster of South Dakota State, but you look at USD. They got 3 juniors out there: Nate Blesson, Barrow, and Kudera, from a team that's won 2 straight conference championships coming back. That's 3 guys who will be seniors who are 3-year starters next year. Dave Boots looks to go for the three-peat next year.
Seth Arndt, of course, will be back, just a freshman. Hickenbottom's just a sophomore for USD. Here's Shantz. Fisher with another offensive rebound for State, and the Rabbits will get it back.
Coyotes just getting killed on the offensive boards.
Timeout on the floor. We are tied at 32. A reminder for you USD folks, a celebrity dinner auction coming up June 3rd at the Sioux Falls Sheraton Inn, hosted by Mr. Hollywood Pat O'Brien, a University of South Dakota graduate. The USD Celebrity Dinner Auction, June 3rd in Sioux Falls. Call 677-5760 for more information on that.
Nate Tibbetts is 1 assist short of setting the North Central Conference record. He needed 6 going into the night. Here we are early in the first half, and he's already got 5.
I think he's going to get it.
Yeah.
He had a game of 18 assists earlier this season.
How about a steal?
Steal ahead to Reese. Here comes Essling. Kress also there to shut him off. Blesson to Kuderek. Barrow the kick to Cood.
Smart play by Barrow. They double down on him as the ball goes in, double team him in the post, kicks it out, and don't be surprised if there's a shooter waiting for that kick out.
3 threes for Cooter. He's got 10 points. Yotes back up by 3. Fish had it slapped away by Tibbetts. And now a foul on Essling as he and Blesson get into it again. Big scowl on Blesson's face as he gets out of there. And a 1-on-1 coming up for Blesson.
As State's gotten their way back in after getting down early, they did it again on the boards. They rebounded out-rebounded early, and then come back, get 11 of the next 15 boards. Going into that last timeout, 18 rebounds on that end. Blesson misses. That would have pushed the lead. Kress.
Best free throw shooter on the team at 80%. Hansen. Leaves it
Nice
to Fisher.
Dish. Hansen's one quick player. He just able to penetrate into the middle there and find someone, and Coyotes end up fouling.
Foul goes against Ben Reese, his second. And 2 shots here on the shooting foul for Fisher. Fish, a 4-year player for the Rabbits, 3-year starter, senior out of Iowa Falls. First point of the game for Fisher. Rabbits back in within 2 with 35-33. Reese for 3. Didn't get his feet under that one. Barrow kept it alive, but here's Hansen.
Oh, nice block. Nice block by Nate Tibbetts.
Nate Tibbetts is coming up with steals, blocking shots, handing out assists, doing everything but scoring, which he always does.
Hansen says, I got by Ben Reese, but wait, where did Nate Tibbetts come from? Have to beat 2 guys to get a layup in this game?
Offensive foul as Kudera stood in there and took it. You're a scorer, you get some of those once in a while.
Yeah. Now, as the Coyotes come up court, they're looking to just set screens again until they can just free one of these outside shooters.
Minute 50 to go, first half.
Tibbetts has to call a timeout to avoid the turnover on the 5-second count. Great defense there by Terry Kress. I think Nate Tibbetts felt he's getting pushed a little bit too much of a handshake.
We are in the middle of March Madness at KELO TV. Coming up next weekend on Rapid City are the Girls State Volleyball Championships. We will tape those, and you can see coverage of the volleyball finals on Sunday, March 12th, midnight on South Dakota Public TV. So we will tape all 3 championship matches, A, AA, and Class B, and you can catch them on Public TV March 12th.
Well, Well, we got a 2-point game here with just under 2 minutes to go, Tom, and I think this is the way it's going to be all the way down to the wire. This is going to be a game that's decided by 3 or 4 points or less.
See Brian Norberg there behind Scott Nagy. Great point guard for the Rabbits out of Watertown. He's hanging around as a graduate assistant this year.
Ben Reese pulled that one from about 25 feet from the basket, out of a timeout.
It's too close. Here's Kress out of Northern Iowa, played 3 seasons at Northern Iowa, and Scott Nagy said we recruited him out of high school as Fisher gets the hoop. But they'd had their eye on Terry Kress for 3 years. Finally got him to South Dakota State for his final season here.
Tried to get him out of high school, and then after his sophomore year, thought he might leave Northern Iowa. Didn't. Then after senior year, I think he came to Scott and said, okay, I made the wrong decision twice. Will you let me have my senior year up there in Brookings?
Kudera for a monster 3, but it's not going to count anyway. As we got Shantz running over Reese.
Just ran right through that screen, and now you talk about sending a good free throw shooter to the line. This Ben Reese, you can count on these.
Reese at 79%.
Score's tied. You got 1:05 at that 35-second clock left. State might be able to get 2 possessions out of the last minute with the Coyotes 1, which might be able to give them a lead going into the half.
And they are not knocking it down at the line. USD 75% as a team. That's second in the conference. They've left a few out there.
I think they're like 5 and 9, or 5 and 10, 50%. They bring Hickenbottom for the last minute, a defensive specialist. This zone, this matchup zone that Coach Boots likes so much, you know, you go get it. Sometimes it looks like a man, sometimes it looks like a zone, and just always keeps you guessing. But State's done an effective job of rebounding out of it, which you generally do against a zone defense as opposed to a man defense. But even more so, being able to attack it and get the ball inside.
Press, weaving. Shantz comes over the back, and another foul on Derek Shantz. And more free throws coming up for the Coyotes. And so far, Jim, Nate Blesson, who picked up those 2 fouls, has played about the last 10 minutes on the clock here without picking up his 3rd. So
we'll have to check that at half. You and I have him down as 2 fouls, and we just got handed a stat sheet from the USD crew, which only had him down as 1. So we'll figure that one out there at the half.
Jeremy Cooter at the line. Two shots coming up. South Dakota State has committed 10 personal fouls, so 2 shots for Kudera. And he is 5th in the conference in scoring at 15 points a game.
1 for 2.
And he's just 2 out of 5 from the line, but 11 points for Koo. And the Oats back up by 2 at 37-35. 25 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock.
They're looking to try to set something up for Austin Hansen on the backside. Comes around, comes up firing, and it's 3.
8 points for Hansen, and that gives SDSU the lead at 38-37.
USD will go for 1 shot here. They want to go in with the lead, up 2, maybe 1. They're going 1-4 low, going to let Tibbetts create, see what he can do. Curls it for Blesson. Blesson in the middle. Just kind of hangs up, but misses the shot.
Estlin shot at the buzzer short, but on the 3 by Austin Hansen, South Dakota State will take a 1-point lead into the locker room.
38-37, we got a barn burner. This is going to be a fun second half, Tom.
We're going to be back to the Dome in Vermillion for the halftime festivities right after this. We are good to go. Jackrabbits with a 1-point lead as we start the second half here. 38-37 South Dakota State. We checked with the official book. Nate Blesson for USD does just have 1 foul. Ben Reese has 2.
Leading scorers in the first half for the Coyotes, Nate Blesson with 12, Jeremy Cadera with 11. And then for South Dakota State, Austin Hansen had 8, Chris Stabner at 8, 2 freshmen leading State to the 1-point lead at the half.
And again, 4 threes, 2 apiece for Stabner and Hansen. Here's Ben Reese to Kudera. Jeremy Kudera out of Del Rapids. Here's Reese. one of the 2 senior starters for USD. He and Blesson. Kress kicks it away from Tibbetts, and a foul coming up on Terry Kress. Pretty good hustle foul there.
Yeah, you know, you want your team to come out of the locker room with some intensity, ready to play defense, because that's what's going to win the game, and just a little bit over anxious there. Again, the Coyotes come and use some patience, so work for a good shot.
Looking inside for Blessed, and Josh Cerveny is back in there for South Dakota State. He picked up 2 quick fouls. There's Josh, number 54, sat most of that first half. But back in the starting lineup along with Essling, Andy Cohn, Austin Hansen, and Terry Kress. Here's Barrow for USD. Blesson with Hansen on him on a switch, and Nate looking down low now trying to post up on Hansen. Good front by Austin.
They found him.
Yep, there you go.
That's just the mark of a good team. They know they got the mismatch. Let's be patient. We'll get it to them. Don't force a pass till something opens up.
14 now for Blesson. Cohn inside, working against Barrow, and Andy Cohn with the hoop.
Austin Hansen catches the ball outside of the zone, draws 2 USD defenders, kicks it into the opening in the zone.
Blesson Essling on him this time. Cerveny comes over.
That double team, Blesson recognized it but couldn't find the open man. He's looking to shoot. Ben Reese.
Reese over adjusted a little bit on that one. Kress with the rebound for State. Hansen for 3.
A little long.
Cerveny had a hand on it, but out of bounds off of Josh, and Coyote basketball. As a coach, do you fear the first couple minutes of the second half that your team might give something away, or is it an opportunity to take it to somebody?
I don't think you look at it as fear, but more as just we need to establish our game at the beginning of this half. The first 5 minutes are so important. Tibbetts just takes it to the hole. Great penetration, saw the seam, found it. Most importantly, finished the play. So as a coach, you go into that first half and you want to establish your type of game. Both coaches here know what they need to do to win this game. State goes inside, can't convert. Nice board by Cadera. Tibbetts looking for an opening. And so you want to establish the kind of game that it's going to take for your team to win.
For USD, that's shooting the basketball and making the 3-pointers.
State, it's been working it inside, getting good shots, and then making the most out of transition opportunities.
Cohn, 17-footer.
Surprise,
Essling.
another offensive rebound for the Jackrabbits.
Here's Cerveny, a little step back.
That's probably not the shot that Coach Nagy wants right there. It's kind of one of those looks where Cerveny is trying to get himself into the game. Didn't get to play much in the first half, gets his hands on the ball and wants to do something with it.
That's a 3 for Blesson.
Got to be aware of where he is on the court. That's his 15th. I think he's got 17 points now of the Coyotes' 44.
Leading scorer in the North Central Conference, Nate Blesson, senior out of Columbus, Nebraska. Averages 19 a game. Tibbetts almost with a steal. Cohn gets it back.
Finds Kress, and he's so quick to the basket. Look at that. Just lightning speed. Coach Nagy's going to the bench quick, going to his most efficient player of the first half, freshman Chris Stabner. He'll check in here, and first half Stabner goes 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2. Got those 8 points real quick. 8 points in only 6 minutes, but you also look at it, he pulled down 4 defensive boards, their leading rebounder in the first half.
Terry Kress took out a Nicholson seat member. I think Terry's up and all right. I'm not sure about the fan yet.
He's giving the thumbs up. More importantly, I'm glad they took him out, not the woman with the baby next to him.
So Kress will sit. Stabner comes on along with Fisher for South Dakota State. USD with that starting 5, and one of the things Scott Nagy said was, I think we're a little deeper than they are. Hope we can wear them down a little bit.
Coyotes patient, looking for a guy to count it. That's 19, and he's at the line shooting for his 20th point, showing you why he's the premier player and the leading candidate for North Central Conference Player of the Year.
What a tough matchup for Casey Essling. Essling had him on the hip, and
Well,
Blesson.
It's just tough. You look at it, and Barrow and Cadera, those are two guys that are a little taller than Blesson. You put post players on him, so now a guard's got to guard Nate, and so I think I'll take him down and post him up. If the big guy's on him, he takes him out behind the three-point line. He's just a complete player, converts the old-fashioned three-point play, and Coyotes open up a 5-point lead.
Here's Stabner. Hansen inside to Fish, a good feed from Hansen.
Again, State very well coached. They're finding the gaps, the openings, and they're attacking that matchup zone well. I'd look to Coach Boots maybe to do something, throw something a little different later here in the second half.
Rabbits man-to-man. Here's Barrow. Blesson again working that low block. 22 points for Nate Blesson. 10 points already for Blesson in the first 4 minutes of the second half.
I think Coach Boots told his team at halftime, let's get the ball to Blesson.
Stabner, great rebound and put back. 10 points now for Chris Stabner.
And his 5th rebound.
3-point USD lead at 49-46. Here's Barrow. Good control by Jason Barrow. Barrow with just 5 so far, averages 14. But when Blesson's scoring, there's not much you need to do except get a rebound.
Earlier in the year in the North Central Conference opener, Barrow came through with a perfect game against Augustana, didn't miss a shot. And there it is, there's a jackrabbit dunk.
Andy Cohn off the feet again from Hansen. Cohn with 8.
That bunny can jump.
I remember going up 3 years ago to State talking to Scott Nagy, and Andy Cohn was a redshirt freshman, and Nagy knew that he was going to be a good player. Tibbetts again with a bucket. It's 6 for Nate.
Yeah, and a couple times this half where the State guards have not been able to stop Tibbetts. He's been able to just take it all the way to the hole.
Timeout on the floor. 14:45 to go in the second half. USD by 5. Back at the Dome, the USD Booster Club is always looking for new members to join or for more information. 605-677-5760 for the Coyote Booster Club.
Well, the story of the second half has been Nate Blesson. 9 of 17 on the game from the field. He's got 22 points.
And again, 10 of those in the first 5 minutes here in the second half. Ryan Johnson back in there for the Rabbits. His 3 won't go, and a foul on South Dakota State.
Bill Fisher gets caught pushing off. We just get news from USD's sports information director that Nate Tibbetts has set that North Central Conference record here in his junior year with 157 assists on the season. Congratulations to Nate Tibbetts. His brother is quite a good point guard leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt this year, and he's going to be a future Coyote as well.
Luke Tibbetts, yep. Riders looked pretty good last night in the first round of the playoffs. Barrow had it slapped away. Blesson goes down to get it, right back to Jason. And somehow Cody Vollmer comes out of there with it for South Dakota State.
After that play, I thought we might have been seeing a State USD wrestling match.
Hansen for 3.
And it's like after each one of these TV timeouts, the other team starts their run as the Jackrabbits pull within 2.
Austin Hansen, 3 threes in the game, 11 points. Tibbetts shut off this time by Stabner. Blesson would have counted had it dropped, and he'll go back to the free throw line. Great pass again by Tibbetts.
Coach Nagy just trying different combinations of how to guard Blesson, going with Ryan Johnson now, just trying to put different fresh bodies on Nate, realizing that Blesson's just taking it at him as he goes to the line for 2 more.
They list Blesson at 6'4", but he has got a couple of inches on both Casey Essling and Ryan Johnson, who are both listed at 6'4".
I think Nate Blesson might spend more time in the weight room than even the Coyote football players. That is one strong, corn-fed Nebraskan right there.
Out of Columbus. Got 23 and make it 24 points for Nate Blesson. And again, the Coyotes trying to secure home court here for the North Central Region Tournament. USD, the #1 seed, or the #1 rated team in the region right now. And if they can win 2 this weekend, they will most likely host that North Central Region tournament. Barrow for three, a little short, and Kress with the board.
Barrow starts shooting from 3-2, and now you got to worry again about all 5 Coyotes. Transition, Tibbetts, misses the layup, maybe gets fouled. Stabner the other way, looking for an opening.
Kress, tough little pull-up, and the sweet kiss for Kress. Terry Kress with 6 now.
Just a smart play, just stay within himself, stay under control, and make it an easy jumper, kiss it off the glass. Inside to Blesson, looking for him every time, and Blesson draws a crowd, so finds someone else who's open, gets it over to Barrow.
He just got clobbered by Kress.
Close to an intentional foul. He'll only be shooting 2, and now Coach Nagy goes to the bench. He'll bring back 3 fresh Jackrabbits to try to stop Nate Blesson.
Barrow will be back for the Coyotes. Just a junior out of Bloomington, Illinois.
And the troubles at the line continue. The Coyotes just 8 for 15. Blesson gets a well-deserved rest.
Good job, Billy.
Kress sits down along with Fisher for South Dakota State. Cerveny back on, along with Essling and Hansen. And Blesson sits as Hickenbottom comes back on for USD. Barrow with 6 points in the game. Back to a 3-point Coyote leaders. Hansen. Stabner for 3. Offensive rebound again. Essling had a hand on it, not out of bounds off the Jackrabbits.
One thing that whenever you play a zone, you feel is that you're going to lose something on the offensive boards, which kind of plays to State's advantage. Get the offensive rebound, but then not able to get the shot back up.
Hickenbottom on the drive was fouled by Essling.
Essling kind of looking at the ref like, hey, you know, give me a break. He's quite a defender, maybe one of the best defenders in the North Central Conference.
12:16 to play, second half. USD with a 3-point lead of 56-53. Here's Barrow working against Cerveny.
Little, now you see it, now you don't. Post move by Barrow. Goes to the line again. Just 2 for 4 at the night at the line, and Dave Booth just looking for one Coyote to put 2 of these down in a row. Team that'll just start making these free throws. That one wasn't even close.
Wow, just 2 of 5 so far for Barrow at the line. Substitutions again. Johnson back on. There's Ryan. He had a foot injury to start the season. Was going to be probably the starter at the 2 position for South Dakota State, but had the injured foot, so Austin Hansen had to step in there. Arndt checks back in for USD. Got a score update from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Nebraska, Omaha in overtime beat North Dakota tonight 94-92, so that is good news for the Rabbits. North Dakota was number 3 in the region.
More importantly, they were tied for second. Great steal there by Reese. They were tied for second in North Central. Jackrabbit win tonight would put them alone in second. And as a coach, you can argue pretty effectively that a team shouldn't be ranked higher than you in the regions if you finish ahead of them in the league.
Stabner goes coast to coast for South Dakota State.
How about these 2 freshmen for State just willing their team to stay in this game, and they're sticking around. 2-point game here with under 12 to go.
Stabner with a dozen. Austin Hansen has 11 for South Dakota State. Here's Reese. Cerveny with a block. Hansen the other way for South Dakota State. Trying to find Stabner in the corner. Right idea, wrong pass. And timeout on the floor with 11:14 to play. Second half. AA State Basketball Tournament coming up March 16th, 17th, and 18th on KELO TV and South Dakota Public TV. We'll have All 4 first-round games on Thursday the 16th, the semifinals on Friday the 17th, and then on Saturday night we'll come out on South Dakota Public TV with the third-place game, and then join in progress the championship game on KELO TV on Saturday the 18th. AA tournament out in Rapid City this year.
That's the correct call. Reese, he moved those feet. State looking to tie the game up here.
Nate Blesson back on for USD. As they go back to that matchup zone. Here's serving, he blocked by Seth Arndt.
Seth Arndt has just such great instincts. His timing's impeccable. And you know, here's a guy who plays 15, 16 minutes, but is one of the leading shot blockers in the conference. Only a freshman. Tibbetts, unselfish player, looking for another assist, saying, hey, Blesson, I want to give you the ball. Will you look for it?
Thought Bless was going to make the break. There's the block by Arndt. A quick jumper.
Yeah, it's just great timing.
2-point USD lead. Here's Stabner for South Dakota State to Hansen. Fisher this time working on Arndt, gets him up. And a foul on Seth Arndt.
You know, you play defense that way too many times, it's going to hurt you. Now, State's got to be able to do it at the line, but they're just playing behind him and saying, go ahead, throw it inside. Make a post move, and this time he fouls him hard. Fisher just needs to convert at the line, but State's just getting the ball too easy into the gut of the Coyote defense. Getting real high percentage looks, just need to finish here, and free throw here will knot the game up at 57 each.
Seven points for Bill Fisher, tied up at 57. Approaching midway through the second half. Reese for 3.
We'll have to check it out later, but I'd be surprised if the Coyotes have shot this poorly from 3 on the year. Stabner looking for Hansen.
Oh!
They just kind of know where each other are. Looking for each other, and the 2 freshmen combine again, and now look out, State's up 3. It's State's turn to run.
4 threes for Hansen. Got 14 points. And under 10 minutes now, 9:45 to go in the second half. Cooter trying to answer for 3, a little short. Cone with a rebound. You see that knee brace Chris Stabner's wearing. He had an injury that he sat out part of the early season.
Arndt just got caught standing a little too straight up, got your knees bent, get ready to play defense, and you're 1 pass away there. And Cone, not the quickest guy in the conference, but was able to run right by him. 30-second timeout. Coach Boots needs to regroup his boys and say, hey guys, let's remember what's gotten us the lead.
Well, look there on the reach-in foul on Seth Arndt. 3rd foul on Arndt. But it has South Dakota State's, they've owned the rebounds like we thought they would, but just shooting lights out with Stabner and Hansen.
Yeah, with threes. We got, Hansen's got like, what has he got, 14 points? And
4 threes for Hansen. 2 threes for Stabner.
He's got 12, whereas one of the things that has really carried USD to this conference championship this year has been balanced scoring, but Nate Blesson has 24 points, and Kader's only 11 points, 3 for 10 from the field. And those points were earlier. They're going to need to get some points somewhere else and get a more balanced attack as we go through the next 9 minutes of this game. It's going to go down to the wire.
9:34 to go, second half. Here's Stabner. And you look out there, and again, you don't know if it's matchup zone or if it's man-to-man. Looks like man-to-man, but.
Well, the way to watch it is, do they follow cutters all the way through? And that's one of the, it's a real credit to Dave Boots. He says that it takes guys a couple of years in his program to really understand the intricacy of his matchup zone, and that's why it keeps you guessing. It's hard to attack. Good man-to-man principles out of that zone defense.
Kudera.
That's what they needed. Brings the crowd back into this. Kind of dead in the water there, and Kudera says, hey, give me the ball. I ain't gonna miss any more of these.
Stabner a little wild on that one. Kudera now with 14 points. He's got 4 threes in the game.
It's something you haven't seen all night. That's a rush shot by State. They've been pretty good in their shot selection. Blessing getting open underneath and draws the contact, goes to the line. But again, you can't say enough. As good a shooting team as USD, they shoot that high percentage because they get such good looks, and that's because there's some great passing that comes from Nate Tibbetts finding Nate Blessing there underneath. The Coyotes are 12 of 20, only 60% at the line. There is one guy who's been making, that's Nate Blessing. He's 6 of 7 at the free throw line. And he's saying, hey, this is my last USD State game. I'm going to give it my all. He's already got 25 points.
Kress back on. Stabner checks out there for South Dakota State. And Barrow with an offensive rebound. Taken away by Kress.
Quick hands Kress. A thief on the court.
Johnson for three. Had a block by Kudera come flying out.
State needs to get back to a little bit more patience. They're picking apart that zone with good passes, finding cutters through the seams, and just need to get a little more patience, keep the ball moving. Coyotes maybe get by with a foul there on Johnson.
Tibbetts right at Hansen again, and pretty good job by Austin just to let him keep going. Kress.
Oh yeah!
Oh! To Andy Cohn.
Finds the jumping jackrabbit for an alley-oop. Tibbetts shot that one 6 feet. The problem was he was only 3 feet from the basket.
The oop to Cohn off the alley from Kress. 10 points for Cohn now. Jack's back up by 1. Here's Reese.
Blessing gets pushed, but still converts. He's just a one-man jackrabbit wrecking crew right now, Tom.
27 for Blessing. Kress.
Coyote
Drops
fans
his
feel like
contact.
maybe a travel, maybe a charge, nothing, but they get the defensive stop. Tibbetts finds the trailer, Kudera.
Oh.
Little long, rebound to Barrow. Great rebounder.
Loads it up again, oh. Cohn with a rebound. Had them both right on, but a little short both times.
Kudera's, he's already got, I think, 10 threes up. He's no question about confidence from the man from Del Rapids. Nagy doesn't like the flow of the offense right there and says, I think I'll call timeout, get some subs in, get guys rested, and make sure we get fresh on our attack.
7:08 to play, second half. All right, just a 30-second timeout there called by the Rabbits. Essling will play it into Kress.
No doubt out of the timeout, Coach Nagy has drawn something up that he feels can be attacked and just look for execution. They decide to go over the top. Nice coaching move there by Scott.
Good look from Kress to Fisher. 9 points now for Fisher. Jacks hop back on top as we seesaw here, 64-63. Barrow inside.
Just a war underneath there, and Barrow just strong enough to just stay with it. Had to suffer through a couple fouls just to catch the ball and then get hammered shooting it up.
Believe it or not, Cody Vollmer is a lot bigger than he was in high school. I mean, he was very thin when he came out of Lyman and has hit the weights up at State, turned into a great rebounder. Had 21 rebounds in one game this year. But the foul there, Barrow back at the line.
Coach Boots here just looking for a Coyote to put 2 of these up down in a row.
Barrow's made every other one so far.
When you look at the year, Barrow at the line is a 73% free throw shooter. And the more you miss, the smaller that basket gets, but continues his make one, miss one.
Barrow ties it up at 64, and we'll be right back. Tied up at 64, 6:47 to go in the second half. And a reminder, they are pretty confident that they are going to host the tournament here, but regional tournament playoff tickets, whether USD hosts or not, you can get some information on that at 677-5959 is the ticket office at USD, 677-5959, and that is for North Central Regional Tournament playoff tickets. And again, it could very well be right here at the DakotaDome in Vermillion.
That's what the Coyotes are fighting for, to keep that #1 ranking in the region. You know, the story of the game for the Coyotes, 27 points by senior Nate Blesson. 10 of 18 from the field, 6 of 8 at the line. But the two freshmen at State, Austin Hanson and Chris Stabner, combined for 26 points, 14 coming from Austin.
Here's Kress, 6:40 to go, second half. Fisher backing, just bowling inside. Essling with some great hands.
And Barrow does the thing that every high school coach teaches their players. If you're gonna save the ball in their baseline, you throw it deep. Instead, Barrow gets an assist to a jackrabbit.
He was trying to just ram it off of Casely Essling's knees, and S made the catch. 8 points for Essling. Jack's up by 2.
State coming out here with some intensity on defense. Oh, Ben Reese just got hammered.
Bulmer with a little arm shiver coming through there.
You said the boy from Lyman got stronger. Well,
He did.
if that's just short of a felony. Just look at that. He just lays him out there. And says, who says a rabbit's not stronger than a coyote?
It's not fair for those little guys to get in front of you like that. Reese at the line. And again, 10 fouls already on the Rabbits. So 2 here for Reese.
This next free throw will be the Coyotes' 26th free throw as opposed to 12 free throws from State. Part of that's attributed to playing a zone. You don't get in as much foul trouble. And State is playing with a lot of aggressiveness, and they ain't going to keep making them. Might as well keep fouling them.
Reese, the all-time three-point leader at USD. And he got them both tied up at 66. 6 minutes to play in regulation. Freshmen back out there, Hanson and Stabner for South Dakota State. Here's Cone. Coyotes back to that matchup zone. Essling working it, and a reach-in foul on Blesson.
It's an interesting zone in that if there's any dribble movement, the defender stays with the ball into the other zone area, and then you just kind of fill the different spots.
Hanson for 3.
Oh,
close to a 4-point play, but
that's his 5th of the night. The freshman saying, I like playing in the dome.
17 points for Austin Hanson on 5 threes. Kudera, the loft line on that one. Barrow with an offensive rebound and had it slapped, but he got fouled. And they're going to get Essling on the reach-in. Barrow's had some big boards here in the second half offensively.
You know, Barrow's role on this USD team, it shouldn't, it needs to be pointed out. It's the reason that they've had such a tremendous season is he just keeps working, does the other things, is one of the, the third or fourth option of the offense, but when he gets it, he does something with it, and then he keeps the play alive by working the offensive boards hard. Nice to see Jason be able to put 2 of these in a row. He's kind of frustrated at the free throw line tonight, a better free throw shooter than he's shown.
There's 3 in a row now for Barrow at the line.
He's got it figured out. Of course, he's been there 10 times, so he ought to.
He's made 6 of them.
State getting it inside where they want to, where they've been effective all night. And Barrow fouls him, and Fisher says, I think I'll go after the old-fashioned three-pointer.
Fisher with some great body control. Didn't know the big man had that extra hang in him. The scoop, the foul on Barrow.
That basket makes him the 4th Jackrabbit in double figures, as they've had a balanced attack led by the 2 freshmen.
Fisher now with a dozen. And a 4-point lead for South Dakota State at 72-68. Barrow will shoot that 3, and he can knock it down.
It's a 2 as he stepped on the line. Maybe that extra foot there as he stepped up increased the confidence level, but Coyotes needed a basket and got a big answer. And Barrow and Fisher are just going at each other inside, and calls a block on Kudera, helping out.
72-70.
Good look at it right here as Cood came over to help out.
72-70. That was a 2.
Coach Nagy just imploring his players, just keep going inside, attack them on the post, attack them on the post.
Officials fixing the scoreboard. They put up a 3 for USD, but it was a 2 by Barrow last time down. So 72-70, South Dakota State with 4:55 to go here, second half. Fisher at the line, shooting 2.
Again, this has all the makings of a barn burner down the line, and it's the team that makes their free throws that's going to pull away here. Bill Fisher, the senior, he definitely wants a win down here in Vermillion. Got to get it done at the free throw line.
Neither will go, and Kudera with a rebound. So it stays a 2-point lead for State.
Coyotes looking to draw even or even go up by 1. Reese comes off a double screen, still can't get the look. And Austin Hansen says, I'll take the ball from you.
Blesson takes it right back.
It's a war.
Cone had a hand on it, and Tibbetts comes away with it.
Oh, what a block. And Dave Boots, that's as upset as I've ever seen Dave Boots.
Boots is livid.
No charge there.
No call on
They're
the
just
drive
going
by
after
Johnson.
each other. Look at that.
And a 2-point takedown for Johnson, and now
The
Barrow
bodies are
scuffling
just
underneath with
going
Fisher.
after each other. Nothing intentional, vicious, or mean. It's just hard basketball. And looking a little bit more like a football game than a basketball game, but these two teams both playing at the top of their game. State wanting to extend their winning streak to 6. North USD, of course, has won that North Central Championship.
There's the block by Fisher, and you can see Dave Boots was livid that there wasn't a foul there, but the foul on the other end is on Johnson. So 2 shots coming up for Kudera. Kud, 14 points.
Coyotes now are converting at the line and running these free throws together, and that's why they've come back from that deficit to a chance to tie it right now.
Look at that last flurry, and Johnson came in behind there on Kudera.
Just bodies stacking up on each other.
Kud gets them both. 16 points for Kudera. And we're tied back up at 72.
You think the Coyote faithful know they need a stop right here?
Stabner got bumped on the way in. It was not on the shot. They're going to call it on Reese on the drive.
More importantly, though, the 7th team foul will send Stabner to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity. His first free throw of the night. Press
back on for Hansen. Stabner's got to go to the free throw line here.
giving Hansen a little blow there.
71% shooter.
He's got to shoot into a sea of crazy Coyote fans. I don't know if we get a shot of that, but they are just, as you look at what they're having to shoot into, it ain't easy.
Dave Boots is all the way down at mid-court here, talking to Nate Tibbetts. And there was some discussion whether or not it was actually a one-on-one.
They got it figured out.
Shot clock had momentarily gone out there at the SDSU shooting in. They got it back on.
So Stabner's got to shoot into this sea of screaming Coyote fans, and just nothing but the bottom of the net.
The cool customer, true freshman out of Harrisburg. 13 points so far.
Cans them both.
So 17 for Austin Hansen, 14 for Chris Stabner. And the Jacks back up by 2 as we hit the 4-minute mark, second half. Press working on Reese.
Just hounding him. Blessing eyes seam in the defense and can't put it down, but Barrow, the guy who just takes his lunch pail and tools to work all the time, doing the dirty work and keeping the Coyotes alive and not let State turn this into a 2-possession game.
He's got 5 offensive rebounds here just in the second half. Fisher coming around, but back to Tibbetts. Shot clock resets.
That's a mistake. Now it's back. Now the shot clock's something else. And
3 on the way. Finally Press with a rebound.
I don't think the Coyotes knew exactly where they were in the shot clock on that time. It flashed at only 2 seconds, and then it went to 23, and they weren't able to convert.
Somehow
Nice
Casey
running
Essling,
basket.
he is a lefty, but he got it to go. 10 points for Essling now, and a 4-point Rabbit lead. 3 minutes to go.
Coyotes definitely need to score on this possession. Looking for Cadera, and he got fouled shooting 3 by Cone. That's the thing, it's just so hard to be able to defend a team where all these different guys running out behind that line can put it down. And next thing you know, Cadera just makes it happen.
He's made 4 threes in the game already. He'll get 3 coming up here. And
Nate Blesson
like a little cramp, maybe.
Yeah, rubbing out those leg cramps. That's one guy that Dave Boots needs at the top of his physical ability the rest of the way. Cadera is just 2 for 6 at the free throw line. Maybe he should step back, Tom, and shoot it from behind the 3-point line, huh? That's what they need. I think he makes this where they have a timeout on the floor. Hansen checks back in for Terry Crescent. It just shows the confidence that Coach Nagy has in his 2 freshmen as they enter crunch time of the game, and he says, I'll go with Stabner and Hansen. They've got us this far.
Stabner, the true freshman. Hansen, a redshirt freshman. Cooter got one of them. He's got 2 out of 3, rather. He's got 18. Timeout with 2:50 to go and a 2-point Jackrabbit lead. The CBA playoffs get started March 29th. The Skyforce will be in them, and there will be a game at the Sioux Falls Arena on March 29th. We'll bring it to you at 7 p.m. The CBA playoffs are coming up on KELO TV.
And Jeremy Cadera puts those free throws down. He's 6 of 10 at the line, 18 points and 11 boards, recorded a double-double. Player from Del Rapids coming up big here with Nate Blesson.
2:40 to go, second half. Fisher looking inside to Essling, and a reach-around foul on Blesson.
Jackrabbits now have 5 players in double figures, led by Austin Hansen with 17 and Stabner with 14, but Essling, Cone, and Fisher also with 10-10, and Fisher with 12 points.
8th team foul on USD. 1-on-1 coming up for Casey Essling.
That depth that Coach Nagy was talking about before the game, showing his that miss hurt.
It's kind of short arm.
Comes out with it. Again, game this close, those free throws. Cadera.
This time Fisher rips it away from Barrow, and great shot if it goes in, but
he's got confidence. That's his 12th 3 of the night.
2 points, South Dakota State lead. 2:15 to go. Essling again inside. Good feed.
They're posting up Blesson right now. Blesson's limping a little bit as he's running. I don't know if that leg's really cramping up on him, but look at Cadera. He shot 12 3 attempts. Rees looking to pull. Here's Cadera looking again.
Tibbetts. Tough shot straight away. Cone with another big rebound. Under 2 minutes now. 1:52 to go in the second half. 4 points, South Dakota State lead.
USD is man-to-man. State the whole game's had to go against one defense, and now have to mix it up and go against something different the last 2 minutes. Good coaching move by Dave Boots.
Rabbits trying to avenge a loss to the Coyotes in Brookings. First time they met in the regular season. 1:25 to go. Reese for 3. Cone there to block it this time. Kudera. Big 3 for Jeremy Kudera. Timeout USD.
Ice that man's elbow down when the night's over.
He's made 5 threes on 13 attempts, 21 points now for Kudera. And it gets USD back within 1.
We got the makings of a great game right here, huh? 78-77, 1:15 to go. This is the time of the game where every mistake is magnified. It's where games are won, and you want your smartest players out there on the court. And it's the things that you've been executing all year round that you have to do right now. They talk about defense wins championships, or defense sends you to the regional tournament. Well, That's what both teams need to do here to make it out of this court with a win tonight. Interesting move here by Coach Boots in that he goes back to the bench and puts in Lamar Parker, who hasn't played all 19 minutes in the second half. Feels like he's probably getting hurt a little bit. We talked about Blessing's leg bugging him. That's who he subs in for, so.
Yeah, and Hickenbottom. So Parker and Hickenbottom both on defensively for USD. And the 2 freshmen stay on for State. Hansen with the ball. Stabner gets waved away. There's the time remaining. Hansen, good look to Cone, and a big finish for Andy Cone.
There he is again, that jumping jackrabbit. Andy Cone with great legs under him and a great dish by Hansen. Nate Tibbetts just got caught around the wrong side of that on-ball screen, and Hansen was able to take it deep into the gut of the defense and dish it off for, there's the kick, and here's a finish.
Cone is a finisher, isn't he?
Yeah.
3 dunks on the night. 12 points for Andy Cone. And the freshman Hansen, great dish. Last second decision there as Cooter came over. Under a minute now, 56 seconds to go.
And again, you got 2 really smart coaches working here. Coach Boots calls the timeout because he realizes though they're down 3, with his team, 3 points is definitely just a 1-possession game. So by calling timeout, he's able to take those defensive players back out, reinsert his best offensive players, and then draw up a play that'll get him a good look to, if not get an easy basket underneath, tie the game with a 3-pointer.
Coyotes will play it in on their own end of the floor. 55 seconds to go. South Dakota State up by 3. Here's Reese. Tried to clear it for him, bringing Cooter over now. Cooter up for 3. Short. Fisher with a big rebound.
They're going to have to foul.
Barrow does so on Hansen.
They foul Austin Hansen. On the year, he's made 79% of his attempts. But his first time to the line tonight, isn't it?
It is. Be a 1-on-1 coming up with 41 seconds to go. And his team up by 3. Now can make it a 2-possession game with 2 here.
Kadera, he loves to set that on-ball screen and flare. Put 5 of those down, but that one just didn't go. And Austin Hansen, he turns it into a 2-possession game with only 40 seconds to go. State just needs to make one more defensive stop.
19 points for Hansen. 5 points, South Dakota State lead.
Kadera looking to set that on-ball screen and flare.
Essling trying to take it away from Reese, who thought he was going to get fouled.
And it's all going State's way right now. State just needs to keep their head. The game is far from over with 24 seconds left. Coach Nagy's stomping on the ground, yelling at his guys, this game is not over.
10th team foul on the Coyotes, so 2 shots coming up for Hansen. He just knocked down a couple, and you hear Nagy, we do not want to foul under any circumstances here.
Hansen misses this one. This one will make it a 6-point game, which Coyotes are going to look for a couple threes.
Hansen had 3 of the best state tournament games ever back in '98 when they beat Mike Miller and Mitchell in the state championship game.
Tibbetts 3 won't go. And a rebound by who else but Austin Hansen, the freshman. He wants the ball too. He says, give me the ball. Dave Boots tells his guys not to foul. This is going to be an 83-77 victory for the Jackrabbits. Behind the play, 2 great freshman guards who will lead the Jackrabbits to many more victories. What a game, huh, Tom?
Excellent finish. 20 points for Austin Hansen. They go with 15 for Chris Stabner as the freshman. Get it done here. 12 for Casey Essling. Andy Cohn with a dozen. 83-77 South Dakota State over USD, and we'll be back to the Dome after this. Well, it was excellent to the finish. 83-77 South Dakota State with a big win. That is their 20th win of the season. They are now 20-8. We hope this doesn't hurt USD's chances of hosting the regional tournament. We'll find out Sunday when they come out with the selection show, but South Dakota State certainly giving themselves a great shot in the arm tonight.
Well, what's important here is that South Dakota State gets their 20th win, and most coaches feel like in a region as tough as this, and arguably the toughest Division II league in the country, that you get 20 wins, you deserve to be in the tournament. And South Dakota State, you know, they're playing their best ball when they need to. 6-game winning streak, and you couple that with that North Dakota loss at home tonight, that puts State all alone in second place. And Tom, I think they played their way into the tournament tonight.
We shall see. They will go down to Morningside tomorrow night to finish out the season. USD will host Augustana here tomorrow night, and it'll all shake out Sunday afternoon after everybody's done playing Saturday night. We'll come back, recap the final scoring here. KELOLAND News is coming up next. Stay tuned for that. We'll run down the scoring and get out of here from the DakotaDome after this.
North Central Conference Basketball on KELOLAND TV is sponsored by the University of South Dakota, setting the standard. The Sioux Falls Cobras. Season tickets on sale now at the Sioux Falls Arena. New Holland and your Great Plains New Holland dealers. Asgrow and your South Dakota Asgrow brand seed dealers. And Clearview Windshield. Call the friendly folks at Clearview Windshield. A better view, and we come to you. North Central Conference Basketball on KELOLAND TV is sponsored by Norwest, your local financial solutions store. South Dakota State University, knowledge for life. East River Electric, your local electric cooperative, a Touch-Tone energy partner. Amdahl Motors of Pipestone, Minnesota, always your best price. And Brookings Economic Development Corporation. Brookings is someplace special.
Jim Hayford, it was a weird one. South Dakota State shot the 3 great. USD did not.
Well, you know, you look at this night, and we knew that South Dakota State, their game was on the boards, and come up with a 46-34 advantage on the boards. But we talked about what a great shooting team University of South Dakota was, but South Dakota State came in here and said, hey, on your home court, we're going to beat you at your own game, and they shoot 57% from three-point land, Tom.
8 of 14 threes for South Dakota State. USD, of course, is still a great shooting team, but they just went 7 of 26 from the three-point line. Austin Hansen with 20 points tonight to lead South Dakota State. Chris Stabner with 14, so the freshmen lead them in scoring. Casey Essling had a dozen. Andy Cohn had 12. Bill Fisher had 12, so they spread it around great. Terry Kress with 6. Cody Bowmer with 3, and Ryan Johnson with 3. For USD, Nate Blesson kind of just ran out of gas there, got that leg hurt late in the game. He had 27 points. Jeremy Cooter with 21, and Jason Barrow with a dozen for the Coyotes. KELOLAND News is coming up next. For Jim Hayford, I am Tom Neiman. Good night from Vermillion.